Shalom Aleichem. I am now in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Actually on Eastern Parkway, near 770. We're going to reach 770 in a few minutes, about 3 to 4 minutes maybe. And that's where we'll end this gig. We're here for the Kinus HaShluchim, for the conference. And I'm running on Eastern Parkway, lots of cars, very noisy. But we'll try it out. So, hope also to, just a reminder, hope to see you on Sunday at the Kinus, at the Gala banquet. It's going to be a blast, a spiritual blast, and I hope you can join. So, this week's Parshas Toldot, we have a strange situation where Yitzchak, our forefather Yitzchak, is about to pass away, and he calls his son Esav to bless him. Why Esav? Esav was the wickedest of the wicked. He has a beautiful son Yaakov. Why not bless him? So here we're going to embark on a question about love. They say love conquers all. Does it really? And do we love sinners? And what if that sinner is your own child? So I want to just take this opportunity to talk about a term that a lot of people know and use, but maybe some people haven't heard of it or don't use it. It's just an acronym. It's OTD, known as off the derech, off the way, off the straight and narrow path. And it's usually used for people who were raised observant and went off the trodden path. So there's a big to-do about that in the Jewish community. It's a reality. And what do we do with these? Or how do we approach them? What's our perspective on them? How do you bring them back? Do you leave them where they are? Etc., etc. So it's OTD. I'm just going to use that for reference. If your child is OTD, what is your perspective on that? If my child goes off the derech, it's not OCD, it's OTD. So what do we do about that? And so over here, Yitzchak, our forefather Yitzchak, had 2 children, Yaakov and Esav. Yaakov was a great guy, and Esav was completely OTD and off the derech. So of course, it's not a joke. It's an emotional turmoil when that happens to the families, and also educators and friends. This is something that we can all learn from. So the question is really this relationship that Yitzchak had with Esav. Esav being a horrible human being, but Yitzchak loving him and supporting him and blessing him in the end. It really helps us reshape our perspective on how we're supposed to treat our children or students or friends in this manner. There's a story with the Baal Shem Tov that somebody asked the Baal Shem Tov that their child went completely off the Jewish way, and what should they do? So, and the question was phrased, do we stop recognizing them as a child, which is a very sad story, or what? The Baal Shem Tov said, you need to love them even more. Love that child even more. Keep a bridge, create a way for the child to come back. And when somebody knows that you love them and you believe in them and you focus on their strengths, it gives them the strength that they need to return, even strength that they didn't know they had. So too over here, Yitzchak, about to pass away, he's calling his son Esav to bless him, not Yaakov. We're going to cross the street now because I'm actually reaching 770 Eastern Parkway. So I'm just going to safely cross the street and continue. So look, Yitzchak's message to Esav was I see your potential. I see what you could be. I believe in you, not just where you are right now, but in your potential for the future. And the previous Rebbe, who started this building, this is 770 Eastern Parkway over here, the previous Rebbe who started Chabad in America, the Rebbe's father-in-law, by the way, it's pretty busy right now. Somebody asked him about a similar situation where they had a child who was OTD, off the derech, and they asked what their perspective should be, and he said, you know, when you have a child who is injured or disabled, God forbid, do you shun them? Do you ignore them? Do you put them down? No, you love them more. You spend more time with them. You give them more attention. He said so too should be with a child of yours, or a student, or a friend who goes OTD, off the derech. Because to ignore the flaws and see the struggles, like Yitzchak did with Esav, see the struggles. And this is really, and bless them and encourage them and give them the opportunity to return, help them return, and transform the challenge into growth. I have a lot of people over here meeting me or looking and saying, what are you doing running on Eastern Parkway? This is where the Kinnis pretty much takes place, in Eastern Parkway, in Crown Heights, the main building. I'm just going to run past it. Sorry for the distractions. Moving on, the Rebbe said, if you look at the story itself, it says that Yitzchak loved Esav ki tzayid bifiv, because there was tzayid in his mouth. What is tzayid? Tzayid means basically food. There was hunted food, but also it's talking about, there's discussion about this tzayid, mystically, this food that Esav would have and prepare for Yitzchak, were hidden sparks that were inside Esav that Yitzchak was trying to reveal. So in the end, it didn't work out at the time, but Yitzchak's sparks that he saw came out later on. And great people like Rabbi Meir, who was a big Tana, and Rabbi Akiva, who was one of the greatest sage of his time, they were all descendants of Esav. So there were hidden sparks over there, and Yitzchak knew they were there, but unfortunately, and he tried to reveal them, but it didn't happen at the time. It happened later on. Another idea is that Yitzchak, some people say, since Yitzchak was blind, then maybe he didn't see Esav. He actually didn't see it. He didn't see his problems. He didn't see his solutions. He never saw Esav. He was blind since before Esav was born. So this whole idea that the whole world knows that Esav was red and ruddy and did horrible things. He was a hunter just for fun and a murderer just for fun. So Yitzchak didn't see all of that because he was blind. That's what some say. But the Rebbe says no. Justice is blind. Sometimes a blind person sees more than a sane person because they're not distracted by the external formalities. So Yitzchak saw to the core. He saw the goodness within Esav, and he didn't see what others saw. And I will reference my dear friend Richard Bernstein, who is a Supreme Court judge in Michigan. I'm gonna turn back around now. And when he was running for the position, my wife said we should use the term justice is blind, in the sense that it doesn't see the negativity, it doesn't see the external things. It's not the person who's blind to the externalities sees the issue at the core. And so too, this is really the message for today, that we're meant to see our children who have gone astray, or our friends and family or students, and see their potential. So what Yitzchak was trying to do with blessing Esav was to reveal his potential, to give him love and attention, and reveal the deep good within him. And that's what we're all meant to do. And parenthetically, Yitzchak was the first one to do this. He was the first one to bless in the Torah, to bless someone who, before he died. We don't see it from Adam, Shem and Eber, Noah, all the great people that are mentioned prior to Yitzchak in the Torah. Nobody blessed their children. But Yitzchak, he saw the great need for his wayward son, that he needs an extra attention, extra blessing, extra love, to be able to reveal that which was hidden deep down. And that's why he blessed him. So too, we bless others, we bless ourselves and others, and God should bless us all to give us the strength and the wisdom that we need to guide us, to overcome our challenges, and to transform challenges into opportunities. And this is back at the station over here. Hope to see you all on Sunday. And to answer the questions, we don't love the sin itself, but we love the sinners, because we're in the Tanya itself. It says you're supposed to love and hate simultaneously. You love the person, but sometimes you need to hate what they do. And of course, not in a judgmental way, but in a way that you can help them overcome it. I'm completely out of character over here. All these rabbis with the black hats and jackets, they're all coming from the Oho or elsewhere. And I will turn off now. 770 is right over there. Sunday morning, there's a picture at 8:30 or 9 a.m. Hope to see you then too. Shabbat Shalom. Lehitraot.